Hello guys, welcome to Interchange 3 Unit 10, a matter of time. In this unit, we're going to see some expressions to refer to time in the past, and also we're going to see how to predict the future using will. Let's begin. Referring to time in the past, use ago, from, to, during, in, and for to talk about past finished actions. Use since and for to talk about an action that started in the past and continues in the present. For example, I moved here 10 years ago. I have worked for this company since 2018. In this case, in the first example, this is an action that I did 10 years ago. I moved here 10 years ago, or 10 years in the past. For the second example, I have worked for this company since 2018. That means that I started working for this company in this year, 2018. But I still work for the company because it's an action that started in 2018, but it's still happening. Finished past actions. For example, Pokemon became popular in 1998. Color TV was invented in the 1950s, or color TV was invented during the 1950s. Google was founded 23 years ago. I was in high school from 2008 to 2011. Trujillo ruled the Dominican Republic for 31 years. In the first example, we use in for a specific year. In the second example, we use in or during for a decade. For example, the 1950s or the 1980s or the 1970s. In the third example, we use ago to say, for example, in this case, that this action happened 23 years in the past or 23 years before now. In this example, we say that this action started in this year and this action finished in this year. For example, from 2008 to 2011. That means that the action started this year and the action finished this year. And we use for to talk about the duration, to say how long an action happened. Actions or things that continue in the present. For example, women have competed in the Olympics since 1900. Nayib Bukele has been the president of El Salvador since 2019. Barack and Michelle Obama have been married for 29 years. The United States has been independent for 234 years. In the first two examples, we are using since to say when the action started, but the action is still happening in the present. In the first example, this is the year when women competed in the Olympics for the first time, but in the present they are still competing. So this is an action that started this year, but is still happening in the present. In the second example, this man, Nayib Bukele, he became the president of El Salvador in 2019, but he is still the president. So this is the first year when he became the president, but in the present he is still the president. In this case, we use for to talk about the duration of an action. In this case, Barack and Michelle Obama have been married for 29 years. This is the duration of their marriage. And in the second example, the United States has been independent for 234 years. So this country is 234 years old. Now we are going to see some words to talk about historic events. Achievement. Something done successfully with effort, skill, or courage. For example, the creation of the COVID-19 vaccine was a great achievement. Assassination. The act of killing an important person, such as politicians, celebrities, royalty, etc. For example, Gandhi's assassination happened in New Delhi, India in 1948. Discovery. The process of finding information, a place, or an object for the first time. For example, Edward Jenner discovered the first vaccine. Election. A time when people vote in order to choose someone for a political or official job. For example, Obama was the first black candidate to win the US presidential election. Epidemic. A particular disease that seriously affects many people at the same time. For example, people are being more careful because of a new epidemic. Natural disaster. A natural event such as a flood, earthquake, or tsunami that kills or injures a lot of people. For example, every year, natural disasters destroy many homes. Revolution. A successful attempt by a lot of people to change the political system of their country by force. For example, the French Revolution inspired the Haitian Revolution. Terrorist act. A violent action for political or religious reasons. For example, on September 11, some terrorist acts killed thousands of people. This is a conversation between two people talking about the future. Let's listen to them.
Page 67. Exercise 9. Conversation. I'll be their first guest. Part A. Listen and practice.
Would you want to spend a vacation in space?
No thanks. I'd rather go to the beach. Would you?
Of course I would. I'd stay longer, too. Do you think we'll have colonies on Mars in 20 or 30 years?
I don't know. Considering how fast we're destroying the Earth, we won't be living here for much longer.
I'm serious. You know, international space agencies are investing a lot of money in research to develop more powerful rockets.
Well, I guess that within 50 years, we'll have set up a research center on Mars, but not a colony.
You're probably right. But I'm sure some company will have built a resort on the moon by then, and I'll be their first guest.
Predicting the future with will. You can use will to make predictions about future events or situations. You can use the future continuous to make predictions about actions and progress in the future. Use the future perfect to say that an action will be completed before a point of time in the future. For example, in the future, most students will take classes from home. 10 years from now, I will be living in Los Angeles. Before I get married, I will have graduated from college. In the first example, I think that in the future, most students will take classes from home. So I'm predicting what I think will happen. In the second example, I say that 10 years from now, that means in 10 years, I will be living in Los Angeles. This is an action that is going to be happening or is going to be in progress in that year in Los Angeles. And in the last example, I am saying that this action here is going to be completed before this happens. Will. You can use will to say what you think will happen in the future. For this, you need a subject plus will plus a verb plus a complement. For example, families will travel to space on vacation. Gasoline won't be used as much. We will use green energy. Most people will drive electric cars. Future continuous. You can use it to say that an action will be in progress in the future or that an action is going to be repeated in the future. For this, you need a subject plus will plus be plus the verb in the ing form plus the complement. For example, my friends and I will be working from home. More people will be using TikTok to make money. Robots will be cooking for us. Future perfect. Use the future perfect to say that an action will be completed by a certain time. For this, you need a period of time or a point in time in the future, plus the subject, plus will have, plus the past participle, plus the complement. For example, by 2050, a company will have built a hotel in space. In 10 years, many islands will have disappeared because of global warming. Or, within 10 years, many islands will have disappeared because of global warming. Before 2030, scientists will have found a cure for baldness. If we see these examples, here the parts with the future perfect are indicating that they are going to be completed before this year comes. So by 2050, this action is going to be completed already. The same happens with these actions here. They are going to be completed before 10 years, and here before 2030. This is the limit or the time that we have to complete these actions. Well guys, that was everything for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.